everyone. My name is Brooke, your fellow podcaster from the East Coast, content creator, creative artist, and entrepreneur, and welcome to my podcast, Blogger with a Twist. So basically on my podcast, I'll mainly be doing topics about lifestyle. I may do a couple rants or story times about my life or whatever comes to mind. That is the gist of this podcast. So if any of you guys find that interesting, definitely share the podcast, subscribe, also tell your friends or family, and last but not least, get your favorite snacks, your popcorn, whatever you like to eat. Sit back and relax, and let's get this episode popping. Hey you guys, it is your girl Brooke, and welcome back to a new episode. And hopefully you guys out there are having a good day, good week, and just living your best life. So for this episode, what I want to talk about is not giving up even when you feel like life is not being fair to you, or maybe you feel like, why is this happening to me? And you know what inspired this week's episode is something that I'm currently going through right now. And at first I was a little hesitant to make this episode, but then I thought about it and I realized that this episode could be helpful to any of you guys out there that may need some type of encouragement or some words of wisdom. So with that being said, grab your snacks and let's get this episode popping. So basically what happened is that I found out Tuesday of this week that I got terminated from my job at the gas station. And so how it unfolded was last Saturday, I was scheduled to work the second shift, which was from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. But my boss called me earlier in the day to tell me that I was suspended and I can't come into work, and that he would give me an update next week, meaning this week, because HR was closed for the weekend. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about why I got terminated from my job. I'm just going to say that I made a mistake that unfortunately caused me to lose my job. Now, when my manager gave me the news this Tuesday, I had mixed emotions about it, because on the one end of the situation, I felt kind of sad because I do not have a backup plan, and the jobs that I had been applying to even before I got terminated had not got back in contact with me. And then I started thinking about, well, I still have to pay my bills, and I also have to get my tooth taken out, which is infected this Friday, and I have to pay for that and other bills. And also started thinking about, I cannot afford to be unemployed for 3 months like I was the last time before I got my job at the gas station, and just everything about how am I going to pay for stuff. So that was the one end of the spectrum about me being stressed out about my bills and stuff, because like I've said it before, no matter if you're sad or depressed, bills still have to be paid. Okay. But then at the same token, I was kind of relieved that I did get terminated, because I've said in my previous podcast episodes that I really wanted to leave the gas station. And after, like I said, that customer got into my face, I really was done with the gas station. So I've been trying to leave there for months, and I told myself that I did not want to be there any longer than a year, because I got hired back in October, I believe, of 2024. So it's been, I think, exactly 6 months. of me working there before I got fired. And so I will say that this is the first job I've ever had that I've gotten fired from in such a short amount of time, because I'm not one of those people that hop from job to job. And so, yeah, you guys, just thinking about that and how everything happened, the best I can really do is to move on and just keep pushing forward, which is what brings me to this week's topic about not giving up. I feel like when it comes to life, you may be put or given situations that may be unfair, but I think sometimes it can make you a stronger person. So I'm going to give you guys another example about myself. When I was younger, I did get sexually assaulted. And so for a long time, I did not go to therapy because I felt like it wouldn't help me. And for a lot of years, I blamed myself for what happened to me. And I kept telling myself, well, if I wasn't there or this, that, and the third, it would have never happened. And so, yeah, a lot of years of having shame and guilt. But after I went to therapy about 2 years ago, I think that's when I finally realized that it was not my fault. And what these people did to me, it was wrong. But at the same time, it definitely made me a stronger person and made me realize that if I can get through that, I can get through anything. And so that's why I say that when it comes to life, the cards that you are dealt are not always going to be rainbows and sunshines, okay? But even so, I feel like it's more so how you answer to it, and how you will continue to live your life. Because I remember I had came across a video on YouTube of this young woman talking about her story of getting COVID-19. And after she got COVID-19, she ended up being hospitalized. And I think she lost a good majority of her limbs to the point that she is now in a wheelchair. Now, mind you, before this young woman got COVID, she was hiking, doing her regular routine, life routine, and then in a blink of an eye, her whole world turned 360. And so when you look at situations like that, where people have to learn and basically adjust to their new life and this new challenge or whatever that they have to overcome, and they still make the best out of it, you start to think, well, if they can do that, then I can do the same thing. Think about how many people were born with an illness that did not ask to have that, but they still managed to make the best out of their life. They work hard, because the worst thing that you can do is give up on yourself. Like, if you give up on other people, I'm not saying that is good or bad, but when you let your own self down, I feel like that is worse, because sometimes in life you have to be your own cheerleader. You may not always have people around you that's going to cheer you on or tell you, oh, you can do this, you got this. Not everybody has that. Or in some cases, you may have some people in your life that are haters and they do not want to see you succeed or grow or prosper. And I feel like those are the people that you really have to watch out for and keep them at a distance, because the one thing that you do not want to do is let what these people say get inside your head, because I feel like the moment you do that, then it can make you feel like, well, maybe I shouldn't do this and maybe I'm not going to be successful. And having those negative thoughts, negative connotations and stuff like that, it can make it difficult for you to believe in yourself and want to give up so easily. Because when all boils down, if you are not going to put your own foot forward for your own self, for your own sake, then what makes you think that somebody else is going to care about you? I know that sounds kind of harsh, but that is how life is sometimes. I remember a few years ago, and I probably may re-upload this story time, but when I was booked as an extra for Creed 2, I remember I had sent probably over 50 submissions because I believe this was the last scene that they was casting paid background actors, and I really wanted to be in the scene. So I remember I sent like 10 applications in every day for probably like a week or so. And it got to the point where I actually got an email from them saying that basically we got your application, like you can stop emailing us. And to my surprise, you guys, I actually did get booked because I kept submitting and I did not give up. That's why I say this all goes back around to you cannot give up on yourself. Because I think I made an episode, like an old episode that I took down about you should not care about other people's opinions and stuff like that. At the end of the day, people are always going to have something to say. And you may not always get somebody that's going to agree with what you say or what you do, but you don't have to worry about that. Just worry about your life and keep it pushing. Let these other people live their own life. And, if they don't want to support you, it is what it is. But I guess to sum up the topic of this episode, I just want to say that whatever you do in life, do not take the shortcut, work hard, do not give up, and most importantly, listen to your heart, listen to your instincts, listen to your mind, and do not let what other people say cloud your judgment. And so that being said, you guys, if you enjoyed this episode, definitely share it. If you guys would like to write me an email, tell me what you think of this episode. I believe my email is in the description, but hopefully the message in this episode helped out somebody that may be feeling like I don't know what to do or have some self-doubt. Hopefully my words encouraged you to not give up on yourself and just be the best version of yourself that you can. And so thank you guys again for listening. Also, I think I already said this. I am having my surgery to get my tooth extracted this Friday. So I don't know if I'm making an episode next week, but hopefully I will. And talk to you guys my next episode. And remember to be positive, don't give up, and just be you. Peace.